Hello everyone, my name's Chad Priddle. Today we'll be installing Docker. If you haven't used Docker or heard about it, then you must be living under a rock. It is extremely popular and it's definitely something you should have in your bag of tricks to install and manage and understand and run containers. And so today we're going to install this on the Dell R720 server using iDRAC. But you could install this on an old PC or any server as long as you know how to create a bootable USB drive with an ISO image, then you're halfway there. So let's get started. So currently we have ESXi installed on the server on the SSD boot. And so what we're going to do is overwrite this and install Ubuntu 20.04. And so for that we're going to connect virtual media. I'm going to go to our downloads folder and install live server. Map the device, close, and then we're going to reboot our machine. If we already have this, we can I don't believe Control Delete works, so you have to do keyboard and F12. Type in your password, and we're going to confirm F11. So we're going to scroll down to Virtual CD. Alright, so we're going to select our language. Continue without updating for now. We'll update that later. We'll use all these defaults. Mirror address, that's good. It defaulted to our RAID array, which we don't want, so we're going to switch this to the SSD that's installed. Keep everything else default. We're going to call this Docker. Definitely want open SSH. So for now we're not going to install any extra packages. Ubuntu server has finished installing, and so now we're still using the virtual console within iDRAC. So let's just log in, make sure it works. And now we have our base user set up and we can do whatever we want. And we know that this installation is on 10.0.0.139. We'll be changing this later, but for now we'll use this for terminal. So we're going to type in SSH Chad Priddle at 10.0.0.139. We're going to say yes to save the fingerprint and use our password from before. And we have successfully SSH in using terminal. And so now we're going to use these commands, and you can just copy and paste these if you'd like. These next couple of commands, we're just updating our repository. Now we can actually add the Docker image. And let's actually install it now. And this final command is basically just to check the status if the service is running, and it looks like it's active. So now we can hit Control Z to jump out of that service. So now we're going to install Portainer. You might have to use sudo in front of each of these commands. So what you can do is just copy, type in sudo space paste. It's going to basically find the latest Portainer image on hub.docker.com. It's going to download the whole image locally to Docker, and then it's going to set up the actual Docker instance into a container. And then after this is done, we'll use Docker PS to verify that we have a new container running. Do sudo Docker PS, and this lists out the different containers we have running. And right now, if we can fire up a web browser using 10.0.0.139 colon 9443. We need to add HTTPS to this. We don't have a cert just yet. Going to get this warning. Go ahead, advance, and definitely hit proceed. And on the first installation, it's going to ask you to create an admin account. And then if you go to Home, you'll see your first Docker host. Click on this, and it'll load all your stacks, images. You can see the image of Portainer that we originally downloaded. We can jump in over to volumes. There was our first volume that we created, and it shows you where it mounts. And this is going to be the very base home base of your Docker setup. And so we'll continue with some further videos on actually adding more containers, how to back them up, create new ones, turn them off. There's going to be a lot of great videos related to this, but this is a very straightforward loading Docker on Ubuntu, and then using Portainer as a web GUI as opposed to doing everything on the CLI. So Portainer is basically just going to let you kind of see a very graphic view of your Docker instances, your volumes, your images, a lot of cool stuff in here. And you should definitely learn the command line side of Docker, and this will kind of help you get jump started. So hope you enjoyed the video.